All right, we looked at how to make this as individual structural beams, as one big beam. I'll just kind of undo that. And now we'll go back in and I'll show you how to do it as a model in place. I'll just delete these. I did it a couple times, so I'll just would have to go through. So I'll show you how to do it as a model in place as one big piece. Now, you could do it as a sweep if it's tangent. If you don't want it to be tangent, like I talked about before, if you don't want this arc, these two arcs to be tangent to each other, then you can do it as an extrusion. So I'll show you that first, and then I'll show you the fact that it will work as an extrusion, as a sweep if you want to make it tangent. So again, just to reiterate, if I go to my top of roof, I've got a reference plane here that's roof north and roof south, and I'm going to use this one when I need to draw on this roof south right here. All right, so if I go to 3D, my roof south is down here. I'm going to go to Architecture Component Model in Place, scroll down, pick Structural Framing, click OK, and I'll name this GL Extrusion, right? GLEXT. And so all I'm going to do is pick the bottom of this roof, offset it, and extrude it, and then array it. So if I go to Extrusion, I want to make sure that I have my reference plane south set. Or you could actually pick a plane if you have a plane. So for example, if I want to pick a plane, it'll let me pick the face of that roof. I tend to prefer to use reference planes, so I'm a little bit more deliberate. So I'll pick south, that one that is actually coincident with the face of the roof. And then I'm just going to go to my pick line and I'll pick the bottom of that roof, right, that you've already got in there. And then I'll just go to offset and we'll offset that 2 3/4. And just repeat the pick process, right, until I get to there. And then I'll just go to the line command and finish off the ends right there and right there, right? And we want to extrude that 6 3/4 inches. So I'm going to go to the extrusion end over here and type in 6.75 inches, right? And then I'll hit the green check. And then I'll set the material over here. It's selected, so making sure that it's selected, you can set the material, and I'll set it to softwood lumber. Okay, so now I've got that single piece, and I can sort of repeat what I did in the other video, which is go to my east elevation, and you can see this guy. I want to pick it and move it, and I want to disjoint it and get rid of the constraint. So I'm just going to move it, and I'll move it from this face, whoops, get rid of the constraint, didn't get it, to that face. And then I can array it. So if I array it, I want to pick second. You can set this to whatever number you want. And then I'll just pick the midpoint of this guy and the mid, and making sure I get the, the correct one of that. And it will array that guy out. And then it's going to yell at you about the array. It thinks it's inefficient because you're using a model in place. You could use an instance and it would only have a memory of one of them. Don't worry about that for this. If I finish the model, write the in-place model, and go to 3D, right? So that's what I've got. This one, in order to edit it, you would pick that and go to Edit in Place, and that would get you back to the array. So you could either change the number in the array, delete the array, remake it, do whatever you want. And here, or you could delete this whole thing and start all over. If I cancel that and go back to the project, and I go to my east elevation, my south elevation, and again, I'm going to hide the drawing file, the import. So let's hide that guy, hide that element. Right. This one gives you one big long piece, right? So you can do that. The other thing that you could do, of course, that I talked about before, is if you actually had it tangent, if this roof was tangent, so I'm just going to delete that. I'm going to go into my south elevation, and I'm going to create a model line that has a tangency. So if I go to model line, and making sure, again, that I'm on my south reference plane, I'll go to model line and sort of recreate the top of that roof as a tangent piece. So there's the endpoint, and go to my arc, right, find that endpoint, click there, come across here, find that endpoint, and then use the tangency snap that it will give you. Let's see, where is it? Oh, it's a little bigger. I must have gotten another pick point, but let's see. There, and then I'll draw a line here, right? And then if I go to my 3D view, and I'm just going to hide this roof for right now. Let's just hide it. Hide element, and I guess I could hide this guy too, right? I really need it. Hide element. And all I have is that line that I created, which should have a tangency to it. And then if I come in and go to architecture component model in place, you could actually use a sweep. If I go to structural framing, you could come in and use a sweep and pick your path. This doesn't require you to have a plane because it will pick a 3D path, and then you can edit your profile and just draw in, you know, your, ooh, that's real big. Let's make it kind of close to what it would be, right? That, and then if I hit check and check, it'll sweep that. So that's a little faster, right? And then you can also come in and put a material on that guy and click OK. Finish the model. If you reset the temper head isolate, go back into your south elevation, or sorry, the east elevation, you can array it. You'll need to array it, you'll have to edit it in place and then do the same process we did before. Move it right into the correct place and then array it. You know, from here, I was a little quick, I think I got it to there, right? And then set it to however many you want. So it's kind of up to you how you want to do it. I would recommend doing the tangency one and then figuring out, you know, then either doing the sweep or the existing one. So it is up to you. Okay.